I never was much of a card player, but you know, when you get married, all these different things happen. And for me, when I got married in 1976, I married into a family with a whole bunch of people. And one of the activities of my wife's family is they like to play cards. And so, being a good sport, some of the family members asked me if I'd sit down at a card table. I was paired with my father in law, my new father in law, Big Dick Page. And we're playing cards, we're playing bid whist, and I really didn't know what I was doing. Frankly, I didn't care what I was doing. You know, my self-esteem is not wrapped around whether or not I can make a bid. But anyway, we started playing, and I wasn't focused. And the next thing I knew, my father-in-law yells at me across the table. I'm a new son-in-law. I've just come into the family. And he yells at me, Nick, count your cards. And I'm saying, oh boy, okay. So I had to pay more attention. And in the process, I learned a few things about cards. And you may say, well, Reverend Hood, why are you talking about cards today? This is just the third day of the new year. But the reason why I want to talk about cards is that this is a time of life on the New Year's where many of us are making resolutions. And I think there are a lot of lessons from playing bid whist for the New Year's resolution. Basically, what I learned is this. Number one, you have to play the hand that you're dealt. Number two, the hand that you're dealt may be strong, it may be weak. Number three, it doesn't matter if your hand is strong or weak. If you play with a sense of aggressiveness, what you find is that when what do they call it? When the dealer lays down the cards that were not distributed in each of the players' hands, if you figure it out, if you guess correctly or closely, what you will find is that you may actually pick up some of the cards that will strengthen a weak hand. So you could start weak, but actually end up strong. And I'm saying this because for New Year's, there are a lot of us who make New Year's resolutions. And to me, you know, there's so many people who bemoan their situation. This business of, as I call it, playing the hand that you're dealt. There's some of us who we just are overwhelmed because we don't think we've been dealt a good hand in life. We look at our lives, we say, I could be doing so much more if I had more money. I could do more if my parents did more for me. I might be more successful if I had a deeper voice, if I were taller, if I were more handsome. And I think that's all well and good. But the encouragement I want to give to those of you who are looking at this today, thinking about your New Year's resolution, is this: am I really playing the hand that I'm dealt? And if I'm playing the hand that I'm dealt, am I playing to win or am I playing not to lose? Am I playing a defensive kind of strategy that's freaked out because I only have low cards, I only have high cards, and I don't have many of them, and I'm afraid to take a risky bid, because I already feel like I don't have much to offer? But frankly, many of us approach life like this. And so the encouragement I'm putting out there today is play the hand that you're dealt. A guy told me the other day, he said, Reverend Hood, I could have gone to the NFL if I just had a father figure in my life. And I said, man, having a father figure in your life is not all it's cracked up to be. And then the guy said, why do you say that? I said, well, look, I had a father in my life. I said, but my father, first he's running for the city council, then he got elected to the city council. I do not remember one dinner during the week with my father and my family. Not one. Now, I'm not bemoaning that. I'm not bad-mouthing my dad. All I'm saying is that having a father figure in your life is not necessarily all it's cracked up to be. The last year I played organized football was in the 9th grade. I started as quarterback. Coach got mad at me mid-season. He benched me, didn't let me play until, this was at Lutheran West, until the last game of the year. I kind of pleaded with my father. I said, come, watch me play. My dad shows up for the last game. It's out there by Eastland, those football fields, one of those fields behind Eastland is where we were playing. I was at Lutheran West, and I finally get to go in the game because we weren't doing well, and I end up throwing a interception, and then we end up losing the game. And when it's over, we're walking off the field. My dad and one of his friends, Mel Jefferson Sr., we're walking off the field, and Mel Jefferson looks at me and says, Nick, he said, you'll never make it to the pros like that. And I'm falling out laughing. I'm saying, boy, what an indignancy. I said, it's one thing for me to, I get in the game late. Then when I get in, I throw an interception. Then I got to listen to my neighbor, Mr. Jefferson, say, you'll never make it to the pros like that. Well, Mr. Jefferson was right. I didn't. And that was last year that I played. I went on the cast and started playing music, and I forgot about the football. But the point that I'm making is I was telling this guy, I said, man, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. At some point, you still have to play the game. Now, yeah, I did throw an interception, but at least I'm playing. And the point that I'm making is I've taken that attitude throughout my entire life, which is just play with the hand that you're dealt. You may be second string, you may be first string, it doesn't matter. But when you get in the game, you have to play. And you got to play to the best of your ability. So that's the word I leave you with today. I want to share with you a Bible verse that I'm going to preach. I'm going to preach on this concept on Sunday, playing the hand that you're dealt. And it's from Paul's letter to the Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, the 10th verse, where Paul says, for we are what he has made us, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand to be our way of life. We are what he has made us. And so, my friends, that's the good word today. If you want to hear a little bit more, come to church on Sunday. Plymouth United Church of Christ, 600 East Warren Avenue. We worship at 8:30 and 11 in the morning, and I'd love to see you. God bless.